Hi Cancers, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about the transits in August. Looks like we're gonna have quite an eventful month ahead of us. So yeah, let's see. We have two full moons this month. This is rare. They say like once in a blue moon, right? That's when like two full moons happen in 1 month. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna start then talking about the major transits, and then I'm gonna slowly move to like minor personal planet transits. Okay, I'm experimenting with that to see if it's better than like my other traditional horoscopes, I guess. So the North Node recently changed signs and it entered Aries and Libra, meaning they entered your 10th and 4th house. For Cancers, this is really important. And as soon as they entered Aries and Libra, they started making a square to Pluto on the 29th degree of Capricorn. That means your opposite sign. So for you, your career, your reputation, your home life, and your relationships, they are making a square. So a lot of activity going on in there. Like I need to check on my Cancer friends to see what's going on with their life. But anyway, so this should be like an important period for Cancers. Okay, a lot of Cancers are gonna get married now, or they're gonna become parents, or they're gonna have like big progress in their careers. So this is an exciting time, despite that square to Pluto. So I guess Pluto is gonna give like that transformative hue to the North Node. Okay, Margot Robbie actually is a Cancer, and the Barbie movie is coming out, and so yeah, it's gonna boost her career, right? Like the North Node is in her 10th house. I'm excited to see that movie. I'm gonna go to the cinema tomorrow. But anyway, so Neptune is retrograding in your 9th house. I mean, it's been there for 12 years now. You are used to that energy now. So I'm just mentioning like what's going on in general in your chart. And so Neptune has been probably making you spiritual, because 9th house is a religious house as well. So Neptune and the 9th house, they kind of like match. Yeah, so spirituality, like dissolving boundaries, because the 9th house is a house of travel, and Neptune dissolves boundaries. Yeah, like but Neptune is also very nebulous. It's like walking through the fog. Like you can't see much, right, when you are in a fog, like a very foggy fog. Yeah, so you rely on your intuition and stuff. It's probably been making you more imaginative as well, more compassionate. Next, Uranus. Uranus has been shaking things up in your friendship house, along with Jupiter. So for Cancers, for the past year and a half, you guys have probably made a lot of new friends, or like the huge focus was on your friendships, and Jupiter is present in there. So again, increase in the number of friends, I guess, supporters. Yeah. And Uranus is like surprises, but I mean it rules the 11th house, so it must have been good, like for friendships especially. And so now let's see. I'm gonna start talking about the transits. The Sun is in your what, 2nd house. Yeah, in August. So usually August for Cancers is a time when you think about your finances. The 2nd house is a house of finances, belongings, values. Okay, it's a materialistic house, the things that we can touch, that we can own. Yeah. What else? Self-esteem as well. Like when we know our value, that is the 2nd house matters. So the Sun is in there, shining a light on those matters, as it does every year in August. And the thing is, Venus is also in there. And Venus is retrograde the entire month in your 2nd house. So I feel like Cancers, for you, this Venus retrograde is not really about love, but about money mostly. Okay, so on the very first day of August, we have a full moon in Aquarius. That means the Sun is in your 2nd house of money, And the moon is also in the house of money, but like shared money. Yeah, so the luminaries are lighting up those matters for you. So my money, my partner's money, or like my money, other people's money. So also the eighth house is also the house of um, debt, the money that we owe to banks because of loans and stuff. Yeah, it's also the house of insurance. What else? Credit cards, or the money that people owe to us. Yeah, all us. Yeah, so those matters are going to be somehow lit up. For some cancers, it might be about like refinancing loans. For other cancers, it might be about like paying off loans. For other cancers, it might be opening up a new credit line, getting a new credit card. So you see, it's just the key words for this new full moon is that money, shared resources, and your resources. The thing about this full moon is that the luminaries are going to be making a T-square to Jupiter in your 11th house. Yeah. So 11th house is the house of friendships, as I said, but it's also the house of dreams, goals. So maybe like you'll be reevaluating with your partner how much you spend on your goals, on your dreams. Yeah. And the thing about this T-square to Jupiter is that Jupiter makes things big. It can go overboard sometimes. Jupiter doesn't know when to stop. Like when it's a good thing, he increases it. When it's a bad thing, he increases it. Yeah, Jupiter doesn't know how to discriminate or discern. I mean, so yeah, we might be emotional at this full moon. Everybody is emotional during full moon, but that T-square to Jupiter might make everyone extra emotional. Okay, so be patient with yourself and with others around this full moon. Yeah. Also, the moon is loosely conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. I mean, they're like 11 degrees apart, so it's like barely a conjunction. But anyway, Pluto is Pluto. It's powerful, it's intense. So yeah, I feel like the emotions are gonna be like intense at this full moon. Also, on top of all of this T-square and stuff, Mercury and Mars in Virgo are going to be making an opposition to Saturn in Pisces, okay? As you know, Mercury is thoughts, and Saturn is depression, pessimism. So and also Mars is close to Mercury, so that means our thoughts are not only going to be like aggressive, but we're also going to be pessimistic. Yeah, so watch out for that, okay? Even if you do have like pessimistic thoughts, remind yourself that this is temporary. This too shall pass, as they say. So after that, on August 8th, like a week after the full moon, we have the last quarter moon. Now, the reason why I mentioned this is that after the last quarter moon, not much happens. It's like the week before the new moon, so it's a good time to wrap things up. That started with the Cancer new moon, by the way, in July. Yeah, so it's a good time to wrap things up or to get ready to prepare things for the next new moon. Like I'm gonna give you an example. Like a month ago, I was preparing documents like during the week before the new moon. Yeah, I was preparing the documents and I mailed mailed my application 2 days before the new moon. So by the time the new moon happened, they received my documents and my application. So you get the idea. It's a good time. That week after the August 8th until August 16th is a good time to either wrap things up, finish things up, or prepare documents, prepare things for the next new moon. Yeah, but it's not a good time to start new things. Like yeah, and also it's a good time to rest, get energy. Like you spent all the energy on the things that started with the new moon in Cancer, and now it's a good time to rest and get energy for the activities that will come with the new moon in Leo. Okay. So on August 13th, we have the conjunction of Sun and Venus retrograde in Leo, okay, on the 20th degree of Leo. So for those of you who have planets around that degree, some of you might have your moon or Venus around that degree, or Mercury. Yeah, it should be significant for you. But for others, it's like this is happening in your second house. And this type of conjunction, where Venus is like between the Sun and the Earth, this happens once every 8 years only, so it is significant. when it happens in your second house, it's like the time of clarity, gaining understanding. Whether you realize it or not, like there will be some sort of understanding, and it's gonna start a new chapter for Venus, because for the past 8 or 7 months, it has been an evening star. Okay, you could see her like after the sunset in the evening, but now she's gonna become a morning star, so you will be able to see her right before the sunrise, early in the morning. Okay, so it's a new phase for Venus, and so Venus matters for you again, like in terms of finances. A new chapter is gonna start for you in terms of finances, and since it's retrograde, you probably were reviewing how you spent money, how you were investing and stuff. And Venus is retrograde, so it's not a good time to invest money. Like keep money until like September or October. So what else? August 16th, we have a new moon in Leo. Yay! And Venus retrograde is still kind of close to this new moon, so it's still technically conjunct the new moon, so that is sweet. But the thing is, both of the luminaries are going to be making a square to Uranus in Taurus, and it's a tight square. Like both the luminaries and Uranus are on the 23rd degrees of their signs. So it is very tight, so it is going to be felt. And Uranus, as you know, is a planet of surprises, sudden things. It's like a lightning, you know. When you look at the sky on a stormy day, you don't know where the lightning is going to strike, right? And when you don't know where the lightning is going to happen. And Uranus is the same way. Like, you're not going to know what surprise it's going to bring. Also, on that day, there will be an interesting aspect in the sky. Like it's called a kite aspect, and it's a rare aspect. Neptune in Pisces is gonna be making an opposition to Mercury and Mars in Virgo, so they will be in this opposition. But then we have Uranus and Pluto in Earth signs, and they are friendly with both Pisces and Virgo, so they will be like mediators. Talking to both sides and like making sure they get along. So it's an interesting energy. So even though I feel like the Uranus is gonna bring some sort of like unexpected thing with this new moon, some unexpected challenge, I feel like that kite aspect and that Venus conjunction is still gonna make it pleasant. Okay. Next, on August 21st, we have the exact square between Venus in retrograde in Leo and Jupiter in Taurus. This one is interesting because both of them are benefics. Venus and Jupiter are good planets. They don't bring like misfortunes. They don't really bring bad events. So even when they're like intense aspect to each other, it is usually something like mild. Like, so you might overspend money because Venus is money and Jupiter is like being overconfident. Yeah, so you overspend money. So don't do that. Try not to splurge, okay? Try not to max out your credit card. And if you want to buy new clothes, like I would say, don't buy too many new clothes and wait until like September, because Venus is retrograde and it's not a good time to buy new clothes. You're not gonna like it when Venus turns direct, okay? So on August 23rd, Sun is gonna enter Virgo. That means your third house. So the focus has been on your finances, right? And now it's gonna shift to communication house. You will become more chatty. It's the house of siblings. What else? Learning, self-expression, like writing. Well, I said communication. What else? Neighborhood. Okay, neighbors. So Venus is, Sun is gonna enter there, and on the same day, Mercury is gonna station retrograde. Mercury has been in your communication house since I think like late July. Yeah, so it's gonna turn retrograde, and yeah, when it's turning retrograde in the third house, it might affect your communication. There will be misunderstandings, so do be prepared for that. And the thing about this retrograde is that it's gonna last for a month, so it's gonna turn direct on September 22nd. Yeah, so expect a month of misunderstandings, miscommunication. Make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you reread the email twice. Make sure you attach the file that you are thinking of attaching, okay? Because mistakes will happen. And I had like last time Mercury was retrograde in May. Like I had a really embarrassing misunderstanding. I still cringe when I remember that. But like it wasn't really my fault. It was like the other person's fault because the ad that they posted was confusing. Like so it ended up being like a very comic situation. But anyway, yeah. When you are aware of it, like it is easier to deal with the circumstances. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention, Mercury retrograde is not a good time to buy electronics. So I know August is like the time when we are getting ready to go back to school and stuff, but I would suggest not buying laptops in late August. If you do need a new laptop for the next school year, try to buy it in early August while Mercury is still direct. Okay. Those of you who will end up buying in like late August, please make sure you keep the receipt or buy an insurance, because if something goes wrong, you can return it and get a new laptop. Okay, get a replacement. Yeah, it can be said about phones as well. So anything electronics related, make sure you keep the receipt or buy an insurance with it. Yeah. And what else? On August 27th, Mars is going to enter Libra until October 12th. That means Mars was in your communication house for the past 2 months or months and a half. Well, 2 months. So it must have been making you more assertive in communication, more direct in communication. Okay. But now that energy house, not energy house, energy planet, Mars is going to enter your house of home, like family. Yeah, so Mars is a planet of aggression, so it can make the atmosphere at home more tense, because like Mars in fourth house, so you might get mad at your roommates if you share an apartment. Yeah, it will be more easy to be irritated by your roommates, or it might be that you bicker with your family around this time more than usual. Yeah, so be aware of that. In order to deal with this energy more positively, I would suggest like exercise at home. Mars is a very athletic planet, and fourth house is your home. Yeah, so if you don't want to get mad, if you don't want to take out your anger at the people you share your place with, yeah, exercise. Okay. And the good side might be that like maybe you want to make repairs at home, so Mars will give you energy to do that. Yeah. So next, August 28th, Uranus stations retrograde until January 27th, 2024. Yeah, so Uranus is a faraway planet. It's not a personal planet, so we barely feel it when it's retrograde. Plus, it goes retrograde every year. Yeah, so we don't feel it's retrograde that much. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is that when it turns retrograde, it's gonna join Venus, Mercury, well, Uranus itself, and then like Neptune and Pluto. 5 planets will be retrograde. That's like almost half of the sky is gonna be retrograde. I mean, like the solar system planets. Yeah, it's gonna feel like you are walking through mud, or like let's say you are like this deep in water and you're trying to run on the water. It's exhausting, right? You don't run that far inside water, so that's how it's going to feel. It's gonna feel like things are going in slow motion. I mean, it's not going to happen like literally, but that's how it's going to feel in our minds. So don't get frustrated. Know that this happens every year, like around this time. Yeah, lots of planets are retrograde. And because we have that Mercury and Venus are retrograde as well, so that's why it feels extra slow. Don't waste energy trying to start new things around this time. Either the progress is going to be like frustratingly slow, or they're not going to bring the results that you want. Okay, even if you start things after the new moon and stuff, because so many planets are retrograde and Venus is retrograde as well. You don't want a sleepy Venus in the DNA of your business chart. No, no, no. Like, so if you want to start a new business, wait until September or October. Okay. And finally, on August 30th, we have the second full moon of August in Pisces, on the 7th degree of Pisces. And so Pisces for you, that is your 9th house. So the sun is in your 3rd house, the house of your communication, siblings, neighbors, and faraway lands, like foreigners, traveling. higher education, religious beliefs. So those two areas of your chart are going to be lit up. Okay. Now, the thing about this full moon is that the moon is going to be conjunct Saturn in the early degrees of Pisces. So it's a tight conjunction. And the interesting thing is, Pisces is a very emotional sign. It's a water sign. And Saturn rules Capricorn. It's a very dry planet. So yeah, I feel like this full moon, we're going to feel emotional, definitely, but we're not going to express it that much. Yeah. It's like, think of it as winter. There's snow, right? Snow is water, but like in frozen version. So it should be interesting. And besides that conjunction to Saturn, there aren't many harsh aspects. So I feel like this full moon is not as intense as the August 1st full moon. Yeah. So, but still, full moons are full moons. We are all emotional, and so be patient with yourself and with others. Don't exhaust yourself. Take rest around full moon. Okay. And full moons bring fruitions. So something to do with your education, maybe higher education. I mean, it's August. Like, who can be graduating in August? I don't know, but maybe you took some course and now it's gonna finish around this time. Yeah. What else? Full moon, traveling, maybe. Some Cancers who have been traveling. Yeah. Maybe you will return home because full moon is like fruition, completion. Okay, so this is it for the months of August for Cancers. As I said, you have Venus retrograding in your money house the entire month. So it's a good time to reevaluate your finances, your self-love. Venus retrograde can make us feel very insecure, like our confidence will be at like a low point. Okay, but don't panic. This is temporary. It's gonna turn direct in September, so things will go back to normal in September. Okay, so use this time to reevaluate your values, your money, how you spend money, your budget. Okay, it's a really good time. Venus retrograde happens in this area of your life once every 8 years, so it is significant. And as I said, the nodes entered your 10th house and 4th house. So the next year and a half should be really interesting for your career, and your social status is going to change. It's going to transform. Okay, so this is exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in September. Bye.